Tippy time my damies, Topcat here and welcome back to the channel. If there is one thing I've learned across Edge of Fate is that the Giver's Blessing has all y'all reaching for a box of tissues. And I totally get it. Our kinetic weapons have never been stronger and the Giver's is blessed. Even at tier 2 with shit stats, is still stronger than every other kinetic tremors AR that has come before it. That was, however, until Trials gave us the Everburning Glitz. This Trials blinged out MP5K has got all the same great kinetic toys that we know and love, with two new ones that are Popeye with a side of spinach strong. It's a rapid fire frame, 720 RPM, with absolutely loaded stats. It hits 69 per crit, it's got kinetic tremors on it. This perk is GOAT for all that area of effect damage. Once triggered, this gives us an additional 426 hit points to any target it hit, both directly and surrounding. We've got 52 bullets in the mag without any mag enhancements, so with a full mag dump we can trigger this twice, dealing 852 damage. What will make you blow your load over the Glitz versus the Blessing is that we can stack up different kinetic damage modifiers in both the left and right column. We've got a new perk here called Bewildering Burst. Reloading this weapon after defeating a target causes the next hit to launch a kinetic projectile that detonates into a longer lasting disorientating blast. This shoots up from the target much like the hunters like Bombardier booties do. When enhanced, this concusses our enemies for 5 seconds. It's got all the other usual toys that you guys like Subsistence. Attrition Orbs is always a favourite amongst the community, but I wouldn't say it's nearly as strong as it is on something like a Wayframe GL, only really giving us 2 orbs per mag dump. The second cream-worthy perk here though is called Ancillary Ordnance, where rapid elemental final blows and final blows on a target that is affected by an elemental debuff will periodically prepare a homing micro missile. Now this thing ain't like any micro missile Bungie has given us before. This is like a legit Scud missile. The animation on this rocket is nuttier than Squirrel Turd. I absolutely love it. It's going to decide whatever target it wants to hit. It's a very selective form of AoE damage, but it'll have you grinning ear to ear like the Jack Nick Joker. This perk is better at chain killing compared to kinetic tremors being better at chunk damage. Each time one of these rockets hit, it does so for 526 damage. With my kit I've been running, I've got ×3 kinetic surges here. This boosts up our crit damage on our Glitz to 84, and it'll boost up our rocket damage to 691. Now I'm going to be running kinetic siphon mods on my noggin, and ×2 dilation mods on my arm bangle to push out my kinetic surge to 18 seconds per charge, as this kit is purely going to revolve around our kinetic ARs. Now, having unlocked the rest of the artifacts, we've got a new perk here called Lightforged Lead. Kinetic weapons gain increased ammo generation, and collecting an orb of power increases the benefit of this duration. Then with that fresh bullet smell, picking up an ammo brick gives you kinetic weapons increased damage for a short duration. Now this is only a ×2 surge, and we've got like ×3 on our kit, so if you've already got a surge going, it won't activate, but I did find it useful when bouncing from pocket to pocket of enemies. It's before you move on, you go collect your ammo and then go hunt down some other bad dudes to slaughter. I know amongst my clan, TechSec is definitely one of the favourite armor kits out there. My man Sizzle swears by it, and he's not wrong. The 2 piece per wrecker allows us to deal significantly increased kinetic damage to shields, overshields, vehicles and construct. This is essentially 3 times the damage. So whenever we come across match game, you'd have to be simple Jack not to run TechSec. And with the 4-piece perk, when we defeat powerful combatants or simply by breaking their shields, it's going to release a disorientating kinetic shockwave. So their shields get chewed out, they go blind, we snack on their souls with all our kinetic damage. Now I've got one mod here that I bet most of you guys haven't really considered using. It's honestly been a long time since I last used it, but we're going to be running the shield break charge. When breaking a combatant shield with the matching damage type, it's going to grant us an armor charge. One of the reasons I originally wanted to make this build was that shield breaks create a tremendous amount of super energy, particularly when grouped together. In hiring content, getting orbs can become difficult in order to boost your build's potential, and you guys know that in the harder content, we often come across a lot more elemental shields. So this will allow us to keep that kinetic surge the entire game through. Now I'm still using that kinetic weapon as my primary weapon, but I'll be fueling it via our other weapons and abilities. The return memory is a solid solar sidearm. It'll often one bang those elemental shields, giving us that armor surge so we can just down those bad guys' faces with a halo of bullets. We then also set up our ability tree, not only I think with the strongest of the abilities, but thankfully these are also all 3 different elements. There's no need to wax lyricals about how good the Song of Flame is, I know you guys love it, but I don't always feel the need to spam that beam flick and bum poke whilst in my super. Sometimes I just like to pop it for that bonus radiance. It's gonna last a lot longer and we can use it in a team support method. One pop of that solar shield and we're gonna gain up that ×3 kinetic surge with radiance, boosting all of our gunplay. I'm also rocking 100 weapons. On this kit, it's not mandatory, but it does give us another 15% damage bonus to minors and mages, and a bonus 10% to our handling and reload. Now, feed the void, no doi. Devour is going to give us health back on kills, while also feeding us grenade energy. I'll often activate this off our powered melees. We're using the combination of Arcane Needle with their lightning surge. This eliminates targets with ease, destroys arc shields like I do chili dogs, whilst throwing out Jolt onto the battlefield. This is particularly great if you're running that ancillary ordnance perk on your Glitz, as you'll be able to chain micro missiles with ease. With Devour active, we've got grenade spam at the ready. Go Vortex here. Anytime there is a void shield, we can pop that, gain ourselves that armor charge. Now the prismatic freezing singularity grenade doesn't quite count as a void grenade in the same way that the Vortex one does. It wasn't giving me that armor charge when the shield broke, but you know, like when the freezing grenade like shatters at the end, when that happened and that hit surrounding targets, that would give us an armor charge. Now whenever you're making a kinetic build, you always want to go prismatic, and if it wasn't for all these like awesome kinetic buffs, I barely run prismatic these days anyway. It's kind of its main trope now that it's been watered down a little bit, as we can build up transcendence really fast by using kinetic weapons. And when we pop that pink to shoot them in the stink, it's going to boost our kinetic weapon damage, taking our base 69 crit to 72. It's not the biggest damage bonus in the world, but hey, everything counts these days. To build that transcendence even faster, we're running Facet of Grace, so when we defeat targets with our kinetic weapons, it's going to boost our transcendent energy to both our light and darkness bars. This will allow us to run all 3 of our abilities on the light tree, being Arc, Void and Solar. Now the exotic armor piece I've chosen, you might think is a little left field, but this kit is all about a hailstorm of AoE, and the chromatic fire slots in there beautifully. It's got a seasonal bonus, so more DR, and it's seen a rework since you probably last equipped it. Now, our final blows with kinetic weapons create an elemental explosion in the element equipped to your super. This used to force us to get those crit kills. This is no longer the case, so we can go gung-ho with our body shots. This means perks like our kinetic tremors, bewildering burst, and ancillary ordnance are all going to slay and give us that elemental splash damage. This is also particularly great in the case of ancillary, as the more enemies out there that are elementally debuffed means the easier we can rocket chain. Additionally, this can stack up 2 times to create larger scaled explosions. Elemental final blows will trigger this, but precision final blows will always be maximum size. Now as this kit is pretty much triggered down, I'm running Facet of Solitude, so we can sever all our targets we're coming across. I'm running Ruin to make our super stronger, as Chromatic throws out Scorch effect, and I've got Defiance also throwing out Scorch effects from our finishers. In some cases we can get ignitions from these, and any Warlock build would not be ready for endgame without Facet of Protection, giving us that 15% damage resist while surrounded, and whilst we're in the pink stuff we are 32% stronger. Now feel free to pause here for all my mods, fragments and artifacts, but there will be a dim link in the description down below. The main thing you guys need to take away from this vid is Glitz plus TechSec plus Shield Break equals a box of tissues, clean yourself off. This build is the best type of messy, I love it. I know a lot of you guys out there are PvE players, the blessing will work great with this kit, but honestly I'll try and get yourself into some trials, get yourself a Glitz. It's more than just that glamour, it's the real effing deal. Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.